Hi everybody, this is James from the Big Easy, host of the Who Dat Temple on iVlog TV and the Divas Correspondent, and you're watching WGS-TV. First down.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Bunny Bujo, and this is going to be our official review of Payback, the WWE's latest pay-per-view. So, what just happened? Well, we're going to tell you right now, but first off, let me introduce the panel for the Payback review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, he is the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, the Hardcore One himself, Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
Really, you don't say.
Hello.
Oh, well, Rick is Rick will be joining us here momentarily as we welcome in our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
And ladies and gentlemen, just recently here on WGS-TV, we witnessed him urinating his pants in fear of Flip the Wolfman Jackson and Christian Blake. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Maddon. Mr. Maddon, how you doing?
You just got to keep bringing it up, Billy. Seriously?
Well, there are a lot of things about we need to keep bringing up. Well, and one thing we're going to be bringing up is the Payback Kickoff match, the hair versus mask match, El Torito versus Hornswaggle. Mr. Maddon, I want to ask you a personal opinion about this. What does it say about the 3MB gimmick when your only really major selling point of the gimmick is Hornswaggle?
Back to the drawing board.
I'm not sure I got your name.
Yeah.
Back to the drawing board.
My dad's lair.
Definitely, agree with
Wait,
you
what?
on that one. Go ahead.
How his heart's acting up again.
No, that was
to
it.
do anything.
Well, like we were saying, you know, the matchup in itself, it started off kind of blasé, but then it did get a little bit entertaining. Hornswaggle tried to rip off the mask of El Torito, and when he did, he only revealed that he had another mask on, and Hornswaggle thought, well, he had the match won. Well, turned out to be not the case, as El Torito hit a Springboard Bullsault, as they call it, and got the victory, and then we witnessed the shaving of Hornswaggle, and Rick, I don't know about you, but that's something I still can't get out of my head.
Yeah, that was definitely a very interesting opening, and now to see Hornswaggle bald, it was kind of predictable, but it was definitely an entertaining match to say the least.
Well, let's look to the opening match officially of Payback, the United States Championship on the line. Sheamus, who came out to a chorus of boos from the Chicago audience, but then again, we already know the Chicago fans were kind of, in a sense, taking on Cesaro, and of course, Paul Heyman had to mention that, you know, he was the advocate for his client Brock Lesnar, who defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania and broke The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak. But anyway, this was indeed a really great United States Championship match, Lance. There's not very often we can say that WWE as of late have had a great United States Championship match, but in my opinion, they did that because the way they went back and forth in this match, we couldn't tell who was going to come out on top.
Well, me and the other guys, Brick will probably back me up on this one, we kind of predicted Cesaro wasn't going over, even though I personally think Cesaro deserves a belt right now.
Yeah, but it came down to, believe it or not, a surprise move from Sheamus. You know, Cesaro just hit the Cesaro swing on the United States champion, was going to go for the neutralizer, and Sheamus caught him with a small package pin and got the victory, retaining the United States championship. And I think a lot of fans would be in awe and shock that Sheamus retained the title, because from what a lot of people on the Facebook page said, they really wanted Sheamus to drop the United States title to Cesaro. But it just didn't happen. And a lot of fans on the Facebook page were not very happy about that. But up next, a match that was kind of formed, I would think probably either from main event or something that happened, like on Raw Backstage Pass. Cody Rhodes and Goldust backstage convalescing over a loss that they just had. And RybAxel comes out and they kind of start poking fun at him. And next thing you know, we have this tag match made. Cody Rhodes and Goldust taking on RybAxel. They really played up on the fact of the woes of Cody Rhodes, even though Cody Rhodes did get a one-on-one win. I think not too long ago, so I don't understand why WWE was playing up to that fact. But Cody Rhodes went for the disaster kick, and it got countered into the shell shock by Ryback, and RybAxel ends up winning. And then, well, I wouldn't necessarily say that Cody Rhodes turned heel. But he said, to Goldust, speaking from brother to another brother, you need a better tag team partner than me.
Yeah, I have to admit, that was definitely a weird turn. The way this whole storyline has been going over the past couple of weeks, I really thought that it was going to be going in a feud of some sorts, but they really kind of thought, it seemed that they're playing where Cody Rhodes is kind of on the pity pot of sorts. So that's kind of definitely weird.
Mr. Maddon, what's your reaction to that? Did you think they would really split up Cody Rhodes and Goldust like this instead of have one of them turn heel and feud with the other brother?
Yeah, I would love to see a brother versus brother. I mean, nothing's going to compare with Matt and Jeff Hardy, but yeah, I could see Cody turning heel and have him and Goldust wrestling at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but the fact that didn't happen.
Hasn't Goldust been thinking about retiring for like the longest time? Like this was supposed to be his last run with professional wrestling. I mean, I don't know. I'm just going by what rumors.
I'm not entirely sure about that, but anyway, for the fact of the matter is that nobody really turned heel. It's just Cody Rhodes just feeling sorry for himself, telling his brother, that he deserves a better tag team partner, and he just left, and that's pretty much how they left it. Up next, we had Rusev and Big E, and for Lance, for what it was worth, it was actually quite good.
Because it was quick.
Yeah.
These two guys are not marathon men. Let's just face it.
Yeah.
And two, we had to see that line of ass. So, winning all around.
You're a big fan of that, aren't you?
You damn right.
I don't blame you either. It turns out for Rusev locking in the accolade on Big E to get the submission victory, but following that, my matchup that was made, we found out towards the end of the Payback Kickoff show, this matchup put together Kofi Kingston taking on the inspirational, well, he's a huge inspiration for James and the Big Easy, the Bo Dallas. Are you a believer? Mr. Maddon, I gotta ask you, are you a believer?
Really? I'm a disaster.
Could well be.
But the matchup never really got underway because Kane came out, assaulted Kofi Kingston, and it actually ended up with the Tombstone Piledriver. And a lot of fans are actually confused about this, but I think this is probably what happened, and Rick will probably back me up on this. During the Payback Kickoff show, they showed some tweets from Kofi Kingston regarding the whole situation with Stephanie McMahon and Daniel Bryan, saying that Stephanie McMahon's actions were completely wrong, immoral, and completely unjustified for what they're doing to Daniel Bryan. So one would think if they're trying to play up that kind of an angle Rick, one would think that Stephanie McMahon. Well, let me toss that to Will because the Bay Area MVP, known as Will, just showed up. Will, from what we saw from the attack from Kane on Kofi Kingston, if they really want to play up the angle, because we saw the tweets that Kofi Kingston had on Payback Kickoff, one got to figure that if they're doing the storyline wise, that Stephanie McMahon sent Kane out there to, I guess, extract revenge on Kofi for what he said on Twitter.
Oh, hello, WGS fans, everybody here on the panel. Sorry about my laptop. Yeah, about this story, I mean, do Twitter wars really happen as they should? I mean, I thought we were going to believe, but instead we get hellfire and brimstone, and this match went out to a no contest. I mean, I don't have Twitter. If James from the Big Easy were here, he'd be happy to tell us, but he's buying the shirt. Lance knows. But you know what? I think Kofi right now, he's going to be jobbing for a couple more months because our good friend Joseph Knight also said that this is the angle that they're going to take it by. But as far as the match goes, Kane chokeslammed him. Bo Dallas with his cheap, "It's okay, Kofi. When you recover, we'll be waiting for you. Just believe," type of crap. It's a funny segment, not to my liking. I'll give it a 1 just because Kane did something right.
Yeah, he stopped this match from happening.
Oh. Anyway, up next, the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Bad News Barrett defending the title against Rob Van Dam. The fans were really split up the middle during this matchup. A lot of chanting for both Barrett and RVD from the crowd, and it was indeed a very good Intercontinental title match. I gotta say though, Rick, when I saw the instance where Barrett hit the bullhammer elbow on the steel post, at that instant, I was actually thinking that, Barrett's going to drop the title at that point in time.
Well, you know what? I've seen Barrett actually do that particular move on the steel post a couple of times. So he's done that spot more than once. So I kind of figured that Barrett was going to win this match. With all due respect to RVD, he's just too old to carry any titles in the WWE. Right now, he's a pusher. He's going to be pushing the younger talent, and that's his role right now.
The man from South Park, simply known as Cartman, was talking with me on Facebook during the whole show, and that's one of the points that he brought up, that RVD wasn't really a full-timer in the WWE right now. He was just there, part-time, and he figured that, that was one of the reasons why they kept the title on Barrett. Not only that, but the Bad News Barrett gimmick has just really been a huge, successful gimmick right now for Wade Barrett, and the way, it's just, he's come by leaps and bounds. By far, like I said, the best gimmick he's got right now, and I think that's why WWE wanted to keep the title on Barrett. But following that, Stephanie McMahon giving Daniel Bryan the opportunity to surrender the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or Brie Bella would be fired. It turns out that Brie Bella did not want to be the helpless victim after all, and decided to quit the WWE, so that way Daniel Bryan could keep the World Heavyweight Championship. And then following that, Lance, would you call that the slap heard around the world?
She slapped the shit out of Stephanie McMahon. Actually, she bitch slapped Stephanie, and Stephanie just went crying to her mom, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is something Cartman brought up on Facebook, but I didn't see it. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, if there was anyone that screen capped it and saw this, but from his vantage point, he said that Stephanie McMahon had a bit of an accident. I
saw the picture. And it looks like she did have a little urinary issue, but she did not. What it is, the fact is it was a shadow, but it does look like she, had pissed herself. But no. Anybody could tell that it was simply just a shadow, and somebody had just captioned it and just, yeah. And obviously, E-Wrestling News had taken the picture and said, yeah, she actually did piss herself, and she ran into the back. No. That's not what happened. It's basically just the fabric, and it's just a bad lighting, and it's just caught. So that's not what happened at all.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we got that out in the open. And so, speaking of being out in the open, the last man standing match, Bray Wyatt taking on John Cena. That we knew there was going to be more interference. We knew that the Wyatt family was going to be involved, and we knew the Usos were going to be there to back up Cena. But what in a way that they did it! I mean, unbelievable. I mean, one of the Usos did his best impersonation of his father, Rikishi, and smashed a table right through. It was Eric Rowan, who went through that table, and then Luke Harper superplexed another one through 2 tables on the outside, basically taking each other out. But I got to say, I got to harp a little bit on Cena. Know where the pyro controls are in the tech area. I mean, really, really. But anyway, the AA threw the production box, and Cena propping the another box on top of it. I don't know. I mean, I've seen him do better against Great Khali when he AA'd him through the staging area, if I'm not mistaken.
Social studies?
So, I don't know. Other than the fans acting like complete fucking tools, I thought the matchup was okay in itself. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a decent match. For what it was, it did what it had to do. I really kind of expected Cena to win, considering that Wyatt won the last match. So, to be honest with you, I pretty much was falling asleep at this. I mean, there were some good spots, but other than that, I kind of knew he was going to win. So I'm like, yeah, let's get this over with. So, unfortunately.
Mr. Maddon, do you think that there was something they could have done better in this matchup, to kind of sell the last man standing match a little bit better than what they did?
I haven't watched the match yet, so I really can't comment on it.
But what are your reactions to Cena being the last man standing?
Well, of course, he's John Cena.
Okay. Like I said, and this hatred that the fans have, a lot of fans think that Cena has the pull, and I call BS on that. Cena is, even though he's really one of the top performers in the WWE, he doesn't make the calls, he doesn't make the decisions. That's WWE and WWE Creative that has that pull. They tell him what to do, and he does it. I don't know why fans think that John Cena has all the pull in the world to do this, Mr. Maddon, but they're stuck on this idea that Cena is in control, and he picks the matches that he wins and whatnot. I don't think that's true.
I don't really think that's true either. Yeah, the hatred of Cena. He's actually a very, very good worker in the ring. If you really watch his matches, very few spots are called. But no, I think that it's WWE that hypes him up too much. But that's just my opinion.
Up next, the Divas Championship on the line, and too bad James and the Big Easy isn't here presently for this review, since he is our resident Divas correspondent. And Paige taking on the what I put on the Facebook, the newly insane Alicia Fox. Indeed, a very good match. Paige, talk about trying to upstage the knockouts a little bit, Will. I mean, think about the spot that they did on the outside from the steps when Alicia kind of flipped her off the top of the steps into the security railing. I think WWE Divas are really trying to step up their game a little bit now that Paige is the Divas champion. Will?
Will, Mike.
Will.
Well,
what happened?
Well, we were talking about, Paige versus Alicia Fox, and, kind of commenting with the fact that, one of the big spots in the match, because this is something you don't normally see WWE Divas do, is that flip they did on the outside when Alicia flipped her from the top of the steps into the security railing. And I was commenting, I want to get your opinion on it. The WWE Divas are really kind of stepping up their game as of late.
Do I look like James the Big Easy? Do I look like the Divas correspondent here?
No, he's absent, so you are the replacement.
Give it to Lance. He likes Vicky Guerrero, for crying out loud.
Wow. Looks like, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. This match was.
Hold on, Rick. Hold on, Rick. I'll take it. I was just trying to get a cheap jab.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. No. Okay. Truthfully, I'll take this. This is the problem. Alicia Fox just needs a little bit more work. I mean, it's okay. She just copied a little bit of AJ, but who really thought she was going to take the belt from Paige? Anybody here thought she was going to take the belt away from Paige? I didn't.
What the hell was up with that run she did after the match to the back?
I have no idea. Was that scripted, or did Rick slip her a happy pill? Because that was not a part that she did. I'll give the match 3. I think it was okay. I thought Paige was carrying Alicia throughout the whole match, in my opinion. I mean, Alicia just looked like she was posing for pictures. That's all you've seen. Every time she said, "Silence!" If anybody caught that. She said, "Silence!" And it was like, that was Sandow's gimmick full. Match of 3. She needs a lot more work, though. But overall, yeah, she wasn't going to win.
Now, Mr. Maddon, what's your opinion been of Paige ever since she debuted the night after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw?
Innovative. I like Paige, and I don't usually watch a lot of Divas matches because that's a piss break for me. But no, I like her gimmick, and I think she's a good worker, and hopefully WWE Creative doesn't screw her gimmick up, and she can continue to excel. Because I don't know, she shows a lot of potential.
Well, up next we have the main event of WWE Payback, the no-holds-barred 6-man elimination tag team match, where we had Triple H, Randy Orton, and Blutista. Taking on the Shield. Now, but I want to say about the first 30 minutes of the match, we didn't have an elimination because it was just basically Evolution just beating the holy crap out of the Shield. I gotta put a jab on the arena security for one particular spot. Seth Rollins on the outside did a dive onto Triple H in the audience, and when they were falling back, some idiot in the crowd was standing right next to him and ended up getting knocked back into his seat. All right, now I am not going to fault Seth Rollins or Triple H for that. I'm going to fault two people. One, the moron standing close to the action like that. And secondly, the arena security for not being there to adequately protect both the performers and the audience, because there should have been crowd control over there, Mr. Maddon, from when that happened, and it just wasn't there. And to me, in my mind, in the wrestling industry, that's inexcusable.
No, you know.
Oh, I agree with you. There should have been a better security there, especially with a spot like that.
Okay.
And I'm going to also agree with you that that idiot should not have been standing there. 2 and 2 is 4 all the time. But that's one way to tell somebody to sit down or get back.
Definitely agree with you. But again, a lot of amazing spots in this matchup, to which really capped off the show, including Seth Rollins diving off the Titantron onto Evolution. I mean, that was by far. We always said that Roman Reigns was just kind of breaking out on his own, and Lance, it's safe to say that Seth Rollins, it's really starting to fall into that category himself.
Well, Seth Rollins is starting to gimmick infringe, because I believe New Jack was the original guy who started jumping off of shit.
What about John Morrison?
John Morrison was after New Jack.
Yeah,
I don't believe he jumped off of stuff that high.
No, but I think he did do one against The Miz on a Monday Night Raw when the WWE Championship was on the line.
Yeah.
But Anyway, the first elimination comes from Roman Reigns spearing Batista and Seth Rollins covering him. The second elimination, Dean Ambrose. We finally got a name for Dean Ambrose's Rolling Bulldog. You know, the
Dirty Deeds.
Dirty Deeds. Yeah, on Randy Orton gets the victory, and finally Roman Reigns spears Triple H. Even though Triple H got a hold of the sledgehammer, he used it on Ambrose. I believe he used it on Rollins, but Reigns just speared him and got the victory. Clean sweep for the Shield in the elimination match. Rick, I got to ask you your reactions to that.
I was not expecting a clean sweep, to say the least, above Evolution winning this match. You know, I was another thing that I noticed in the match. I don't know if you guys caught it when Triple H and the Shield and Reigns first locked up. Reigns kind of gave him a quick wink, and I'm like, uh-oh. I thought that maybe we would see a turn somewhere. I don't know if maybe even Triple H was going to turn on Evolution, because we knew that Batista's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So I
forgot about that. Thank you.
And I would figure that maybe Triple H wouldn't want to break up the Shield, because that was his puppy when they first came in. So I just wasn't sure, but obviously that never came to pass. So I still don't know what that wink was all about. But anyways, yeah, I didn't expect that clean sweep nonetheless. So great match, hands down.
All right, time to go to Facebook fan comments and reviews of WWE Payback. Whenever there's a wrestling show on, guys, and you send in your reviews to facebook.com/WGS-TV, we always read your comments out loud here on the review. Starting with Nicholas Corellis. Nicholas says, best match of the night, Evolution versus Shield. Worst match was El Torito versus Horny. That's how he had it. That's how he had it typed up on there. Next up, we had. Now you're gonna have to forgive me. Perrin Aeropostale Petticoat, and the only thing Perrin put was a hashtag, and it said hashtag Payback was awesome. Jay Harmouche says, personally, the best pay-per-view of the year so far. Rick, would you agree with that?
Best pay-per-view of the year? I can't say so far. It's questionable. Only because there was a lot of great matches, but the predictability, I can't say, because I predicted every match right across the board.
Lance, over to you. Do you agree? You know, with Mr. Jay Harmouche?
To me, Mania was better.
Will, what about you? Do you agree with Mr. Jay Harmouche saying that this is the best pay-per-view of the year?
No, I'm going to go on a different hashtag, and I'm going to go to the son of a bitch, Andy. Hashtag Payback was predictable. So, yes, I have to go there, because Andy was right. And look at Wednesday's show. He tells the truth.
Up next, we had Tiffany Peak, and Tiffany says, well done, Brie Bella standing up to Stephanie McMahon and sticking up for her husband. Christy Clark says, my favorite moments was the little bowl and Brie slapping the bitch from hell. And the final comment comes from someone that both me and Mr. Maddon know well, Justin Toops. He says, best pay-per-view of the year other than Mania. So a lot of positive feedback for Payback this year, guys and gals. And as we do that, it is now time to go into our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Payback this year. Payback to me was indeed a very unique style of a pay-per-view. For one instance, we didn't have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship as the main topic, the main storyline. It was more of the Shield and Evolution, and they really needed to do something to really cap off the feud and really steal the show, and they did that in the no holds barred elimination match, which is, I'm telling you guys right now, my pick for best match of the night, with the Intercontinental Championship match getting a very, very, very close second, right up there with the Last Man Standing match between Bray Wyatt and John Cena, despite all the idiot fools in the crowd who actually think they understand the wrestling industry. If we believe hard enough, when boo Cena hard enough, WWE will turn him heel and listen to us. Really? No, that's not going to happen. Worst match, I'm going to say worst segment of the night. You know, I'm not going to put it on the matchup with Hornswaggle and Torito in the same parts and the same instances. Hornswaggle's haircut. That's, you know, and as we start thinking about people bald, the Studley man Ashley is here. Ashley, how you doing? As Ashley gets his microphone thing sorted out, overall, I got to give Payback. I want to give it a solid 3.75 out of 5, and it was indeed a good show. The crowd got on me a little bit, you know, during the Cena Bray Wyatt match, and of course that idiot in the main event standing too close to standing too close to Seth Rollins and Triple H and getting his ass knocked back into the seat. To me, you know, again, that's on first off the idiot standing right there.
You know what? Hold on. I got to step up for a second. Hold on. Now, you keep on blaming the fan. Now, keep in mind, the fan was probably in the crowd. When you bring the fight into the crowd, wouldn't you kind of, you know, not necessarily blame the fans, because the fans are right there. They're in the crowd. They're in their area. When you bring the fans...
The idiot stood up and walked closer to them.
That would be a security issue.
Yeah, that's a security issue. You can't blame the fans for being, you know, stepping up a couple and getting a little closer when you can't blame the idiot. You can't blame the fan.
Well,
you can't blame the fan. If the fan jumps the rail, then he's the idiot. Until then, you know, if he's in his little area, you can't blame the fan. I'm sorry.
And also to jump in, gentlemen, if anybody can remember a Raw Sacramento when that fan smacked CM Punk in the back of the head, that's security issues, okay? Because your doing is what your own doing, your own making. Don't expect the wrestlers to just take that. Chances are either security will get you or the wrestlers will beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you're an idiot, when you put your hands on a wrestler. But when you're just kind of like getting a little too close to the action and they bring the fight into the crowd, okay, shit's gonna happen. That's an honest accident, you know.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, my official score is a 3.75 out of 5. Apologize to the Studley man. Actually, apparently he's having issues connecting to this Google Hangout, so we do apologize about that. So let's go to Rick next and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Payback this year. Rick?
Well, I'm going to say first my overall score is a 3. It wasn't great, but it wasn't sucky. First off, the quality of the matches were great for what they were, but again, the predictability kind of brought it down a few notches for me. Best match of the night, obviously, was the main event, hands down. Even though it was kind of like I was more leaning to Evolution, I didn't really think the Shield was going to win. The worst match of the night, obviously, which was the worst match of the night, most predictable, was Rusev versus, as we call it over in HWR, Big E Webster, or Big E. You know, Rusev just getting his ass kicked. Rusev just beating everybody's ass is just ridiculous, and it's a squash match after squash match. That match should not have even been on pay-per-view. That should have been on Raw.
And well, let's try it again. Ashley, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hello, Ashley.
Ash.
Hello in there.
Check your microphone.
Mike.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! It's doing that, is it?
Now
Good old
it's
Google.
working.
Power of bull.
There he is.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
In trouble.
The Studley man Ashley is finally with us here on the review of WWE Payback. And speaking of that, Ashley, your thoughts on the show, your overall score, and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Payback?
I guess overall score, I'd probably give it somewhere around a 3.5. It did what it had to do, really. Nothing entirely spectacular. Worst moment of the night, pretty much the fact that half the show was Monday Night Raw tonight. And the best segment was Alicia Fox running away because she realised she didn't want to have her pants pissed like Stephanie's were.
Well, that marked everything on that.
Yeah, it, yeah, it did. It did. Anyway, next up, Lance over.
That's the weirdest. That's the weirdest sweat stain. That's the weirdest sweat stain ever.
Well, we actually kind of confirmed it and disproved the theory that it was not a wet stain. It was what Rick said proved to be actually the fabric and the lighting of the area. It was a shadow.
Please, I don't want to be one of them.
So, yeah, stunned silence from everybody.
Everything's
Yeah,
the
it
problem with
was
the shadows, damn it.
Shadow.
No.
Well, up next, we go to Lance and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Payback. Lance?
Best match, I gotta go with the Shield versus Evolution elimination match. Worst match, Biggie Webster versus
How terrible this must
Rusev. Best segment, Brie Bella slapping the ever-living hell out of Stephanie McMahon. And worst, there really wasn't any other segment besides that.
What about Hornswaggle getting his haircut?
Oh yeah, that is a hellacious haircut.
Ashley, would you accept the haircut from El Torito?
Ash,
Mike?
He's considering it.
He's considering. Well, Ash is considering that. Let's go over to Will and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of WWE Payback. Will?
You know what? I just want to give a shout out to Andy. You the man. You the man. Because you predicted every match right. So yeah. Overall score, I'll give it a 3.75 out of 5. Best match, I'm gonna shock you all, and I really thought the 6-man elimination match was the best match on this one, because give credit to the Cena Wyatt last man standing match. I was gonna consider the #1 match, but after what Rollins and Ambrose did and Reigns with all that stamina to take all those kendo shots, damn, that must hurt. So that's gonna be my best match. The worst match, Rick is right. I mean, Rusev getting all these squash matches, and I'm going to say it again one more time, he's getting the Ryback-like storyline. I mean, can we get him some better competition here? This is getting nowhere fast. Best segment, poor Hornswaggle. At least you got a free haircut. Worst. Oh, and an honorable mention to the slap that's heard all around Twitter. Worst segment, we just talked about it right now. Fans trying to be brave, trying to get the spotlight, and he should have got his ass whooped, but you know how that works. And also, one more honorable mention, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. Bo Dallas still got that cheap-ass smile.
Ashley, are you a believer?
On the Hornswaggle front, I have to say that why was so much shaving cream used? I guess the only positive is all the whipped cream was saved for Lana, just like 20 minutes afterwards or something. In terms of Bo Dallas, can he come back in the gimmick that he had 16 months ago when he was actually a good gimmick, even though it wasn't a gimmick at all? To me, I just preferred that. And also, honourable mention to Will for keep doing honourable mentions.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one there.
I'll take that, Ash.
So again, our thanks to all the fans who sent in their Facebook comments about WWE Payback on the WGS-TV Facebook page. And like I said, whenever you guys do that, we will read your comments out loud here on the review. So thank you to each and every one of you who did that. Also, on that note, guys and gals, what we want to know now from you guys out there, yes, that's you guys right now watching this right now on youtube.com/WrestleGamer, what are your thoughts on WWE Payback? What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of WWE Payback? Your reactions to Cena being the last man standing. Your reactions to the Shield getting a clean sweep on Evolution and the no-holds-barred elimination tag match for the main event. Your reactions to Stephanie McMahon getting slapped and a lot of people thinking that she peed herself after Brie Bella did that to her. What are your thoughts on that, guys and gals? We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, you can always check me out on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And we are now over on Daily Motion, so check us out there too. That's dailymotion.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Yep.
Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck woman cooking videos, some guitar work and whatever was busting my head. Please subscribe if you hadn't. Why not?
And ladies and gentlemen, over on the hood on iVlog, he likes to honorably mention believing it's the Bay Area MVP known as Will. Will, you got anything coming up?
First of all, this finger represents the majority of us, and no, I will never be a believer. Since it's June, everybody, are you ready for the summer? Well, don't forget today is June 2nd. If you're in Michigan, UPW has a show where Kevin Steen, Colt Cabana, and Rhino will doing a show up there. So for anybody in the Michigan area, go check them out. The tickets are $10 at the door, and I'm just getting ready to watch Raw. That really comes up this week. I was ready for Raw.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mid-South Extreme Wrestling presents Revelations June 21st, and we've already learned two things. One, the return of the Mexican Giant into in-ring competition, Mr. Maddon, and that Ashton Spears challenges the franchise Shane Douglas coming up June 21st in Abbeville, Louisiana. Anything else we can expect out of y'all from MSX?
I can't really say a whole lot about that at the moment. But keep your eyes peeled because it's not over.
All right, fans, also don't forget to like the Facebook page. Half-Life 3. Fans, don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So for the Studley Man Ashley, the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Mr. Rick Head, the Bay Area MVP known as well, the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, and Mr. Maddon, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
This review has been brought to you by the Bay Area MVP's new show, Honorable Mention.
And Lance's fetish for Vicky Guerrero after hours.
Well, they done the cheat.
I was waiting for that.